my experience with Caylee was the first 11 months she was alive, and then that 2 months, October and November, when I really got to see her. Other than that, it was always home related. Caylee was at home all the time, unless she was with her nanny. She was always at home. She was a home child, I guess would be the best choice of words. So I don't ever remember there being anywhere else that Casey would go with Caylee. Playhouse, pool, inside. That's about all I can remember.
This nanny thing is just the big question. We can't find the nanny or any true beat down pathway of communication to the nanny.
Right.
Letters, Christmas cards, photographs, telephone calls from the phone to a nanny. If you were doing my job, where would you look for the nanny?
Well, first place I'd start with is the gentleman that she said that she got the nanny's name from.
We've done that.
Jeff Hopkins.
Spoke to both.
And Hopkins doesn't exist.
No. We've been able to find at least the very first one. No. The second one, let me tell you, these things are all being followed up on.
Right.
There's just no... You can't say, like there's been friends that call and say, hey, this guy went to work for Disney, worked at a water park this time frame here, and then not expect to be able to find Disney's records of this same guy.
Right.
Be it Jacksonville or wherever. Now, all I'm saying is the avenues that she's given us, the clues, if we want to call them that, are yielding no results in those efforts.
Here was my thought in regards to finding whoever this nanny is. Because before Caylee went missing on the 15th, I believe that there were days where Caylee was supposedly with the nanny, or let's backtrack. Caylee was supposedly with mom and wasn't with mom. I don't know specific dates, but let's just play that out for example. Casey tells her friends that Caylee is with her mother. You speak with Cindy and Kaylee's not with mom. Well, then Caylee has to be somewhere because up until the 15th she was around.
And that's what I've communicated with Lee.
So
Lee, we've talked to friends, we've talked to boyfriends, and we afforded Casey an opportunity to talk with us, and she went down a path that none of us understand. Now your mother needs to come in and say on the calendar books, I know I had the baby this day, this day, this day, and this day. Now through our investigative efforts, which take us all over the place for surveillance videos everywhere, the days that mom says, I didn't have her this day, but I can show a surveillance video at a Target or whatever with Casey alone. Alright, Casey, where was the baby that day? Now I can isolate that day's phone records and try to see if there was communication between a nanny. But the difficult part is we're not getting that level of cooperation.
what about days before the 15th? My only thought is, and feel free to
I'm
interrupt
opening up the calendar book from whenever back when.
Right.
I'll go back to first of the year, but I need mom to come in and say, these are the days I had her.
Right, exactly.
Without that information, there's no baseline to start at.
Because then you can start out, you can do phone records to figure it out, you can do spending patterns, where was she spending, where was she going all the time, things of that nature. Because otherwise, because that was my first thing, that's why I put that calendar book together, because I figured, okay, if the days that we can find out that she was supposedly with her nanny, or supposedly with mom, and she wasn't with mom, and Casey was alone, where was she? She had to have been with someone, somewhere. And whoever this someone is, if she was with someone, has a lot more information, is obviously not coming forward about it. Do I believe it's possible that Caylee did have a nanny and Casey lied to her enough about her family that she thinks that she's protecting them right now? That she thinks she's protecting Caylee? I don't see why not. We can all tell that from the last couple of years, Casey is a very effective liar. I think I'd use the word diabolical to describe the way she lies. So, is that a possibility? Absolutely. That there's somebody else out there that could have had Caylee.
Did Casey traffic in cocaine or any other narcotic?
No.
She just was an occasional user, not a trafficker.
I never saw her use a single drug in my entire life.
Did she have a multi-million-dollar corporation that maybe she was embezzling funds from, and someone wanted to, what I'm getting at here is, can you think of any reason that someone would abduct that child and hold it for ransom or threaten that family?
The only reason I can think of is it all started, according to my calendar, when she seriously started seeing Tony Lazzaro and hanging out at Fusion nightclub all the time. Fusion nightclub, from what I understand, there's a lot of drugs move through that place. It's a very drug-friendly environment, atmosphere. Is there the possibility that she could have ripped off the wrong person, the wrong drug dealer, the wrong relation to somebody else's family who's high up and has got some money and has got some power? Absolutely, because in my time frame, none of this stuff really started happening until she started doing that, until she started hanging out all the time. Because you look at the 15th, she just started hanging out at Fusion and hanging out with Tony all the time on the 13th. The 11th is when she said that he's my boyfriend. So if you look at that time frame right there, it completely lines up, and there's nothing that he can say to discredit that. It completely starts lining up with when she started hanging out there all the time. Totally lines up with that. Could she have ripped off the wrong person there or pissed off the wrong person? Absolutely. Could she have become a drug user to appease Tony? She became a Yankee fan to appease me, and she hates the Yankees. She does things to chameleon. She's like a chameleon when she's with a guy. Ricardo smokes pot. She started smoking pot when she's with Ricardo. My family's Christian. She started doing things in regards to religious practices with us to fit in with our family, to fit in with me. Do I believe that she really wanted to do all that? Absolutely not.
What about Mom? We talked about Mom and Casey's relationship, and you brought something up a while back. You guys were laying on the couch together back when you were engaged, and Mom blurts out something, kind of puts you in an embarrassing way. Can you tell me about that again?
We were laying on the couch. Her and Casey started having an argument about something, and I stuck up for Casey. And I just said, please don't do this while I'm here. Don't talk to her like that. I love your daughter. And then she immediately just throws Casey under the bus. For a very real term, just lays her out there. How do you want to be with somebody who's got no future? She didn't even go back to get her high school education. She's got a job at a place where she doesn't really even make enough money to support Caylee. I'm the one supporting Caylee. And just basically just threw her out there. Totally just threw her out there.
Makes her feel like a failure in your eyes.
Absolutely.
And that was a pretty common theme, and that was just one that sticks out in your mind?
Well,
an isolated incident?
What ended up happening with Casey and her mother was for the first 5 to 6 months that we were together, the second time, she constantly would tell me she doesn't want to end up like her mother. She wants to be a different person. She wants to change. And then it started changing, and then I started seeing things like on her MySpace. I can't wait to be just like my mother when I grow up. I want to be just like her. I love her so much. She confide things in her. And that's when our relationship, her and I's relationship, started going downhill at that point.
Maybe if you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
All right, well, the 24th then is the big thing.
Right.
You can't say with 100% certainty. Kind of like the 16th where you say you may have heard the child.
Correct.
You don't know for sure.
No.
But you know you spoke with Casey.
I know I spoke with Casey. Yes.
So she could have just as easily staged, get down off the table.
Very much so.
For you to hear.
Very much so, yeah.
Raise your right hand for me. You swear the information you gave today is true?
I swear.
Freely given?
Yes, sir.